Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be going over the all-new 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee finished in the Summit trim package. And yes, this one has a roof that's almost $4,000. We'll get into that later, but as always, we're going to do a quick walk around on the Grand Cherokee, then we're going to take it out to see how it drives. A big shout out and thank you to the Larry H. Miller Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy, Utah for providing us with the Grand Cherokee. Check out the inventory in the link below if you're in the market for a Jeep. Under the hood here, we have a naturally aspirated 5.7 liter V8 Hemi that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 14 around town and then 22 on the highway. Power outputs are 360 horsepower and then 390 pound-feet of torque. Now, finishing things up front, this is finished in ivory tri-coat, so it's more premium white. You can see how it sparkles in the sunlight, has that nice metallic flake to it. All of these Summits will come with the projector bulbs. You've got the LED accent lights around them. You've got these kind of like little LED lights down below as well with the fog lights. Obviously Jeep's signature front grille. You can see the sensor there for the adaptive cruise control as well. And then you've got this nice kind of like chrome trim. And notice the look on the chrome. It's a lot more premium looking. It doesn't have that like bright flashy gloss chrome look to it, so I think it looks a whole lot better. Around the side here, we've got 20-inch rims in the front and over in the back as well. Tire size is 265 millimeter on that. Pretty standard setup for an SUV, nothing too crazy going there. You can see a little parking sensor there on the side, which is kind of cool. Grand Cherokee on the side. Mirrors are body painted. Yes, the roof is black. Yes, it's expensive. We'll get into that in a moment. But other than that, things are pretty simple on the side. You can see this looks like any other Grand Cherokee kind of from the side. Here's the key fob for the Jeep Grand Cherokee. It says Jeep on the back. You got a couple functions, your lock and unlock, remote start, and then your tailgate release. If you press the remote start function twice, first time we'll lock it, second time we'll start it up. Hear that Hemi come to life and kind of spit some water onto me. Press it again and that'll shut it right off. Now I've got the button for the tailgate release, so press that twice and that'll open up the rear hatch. So notice that'll all open up. You can come here into the rear, got some boxes back here and all of that. Got a little extra storage down there. This is the button to close the tailgate. It does come with a cargo cover from the factory, little 12 volt. And then under here, you can see that we've got the spare tire. Other than that, you guys can see the full cargo area. Pretty simple. And let's close her up. Oh wait, I didn't press it hard enough. There we go. Boom! So we've got everything in the back of the Grand Cherokee, so you guys can see that we've got the full LED lights all back here. Jeep right there, 4x4, and then it says Summit on the other side. Everything's pretty much same as any other Grand Cherokee. Parking sensors in the back. Got the cover for the receiver hitch, if it has one. Dual outlet exhaust as well. And now let's get to your favorite part. So this is a new option for the Grand Cherokee. You guys can see it is the black roof. Yes, that's all it is. It just makes the roof black, and you guys can kind of see the look of that. I tried to include it into the thumbnail as much as possible so you guys can kind of see just exactly how that looks. And if you're wondering, that costs $2,100 to get that as an option, to make the roof black. $2,100. And I know the sunroof is standard equipment on a Summit, but on most of the other Grand Cherokees, I think it's like $1,400. So if you combine this with what the sunroof normally costs, which obviously the base MSRP on this is so much higher, you're almost like $4,000 for this roof setup that it has. Crazy. Coming to the rear here, we can see the door panel in the back, so you guys can see that we've got the leather trim up top. We've got kind of like the wood trim right there with the silver trim just below it. All the leather bolstering there on the side with the window control. Couple speakers for the sound system as well. And then you've got the leather seats here in the rear, so you guys can kind of get a good look at the back. It says Summit on it. You can see it's got nice perforations throughout. You can pull this down to be a couple of cup holders. And then you can see over here, we've got the vents right here, full power outlet. Couple USBs, heated seats in the back on top of that. And this one does have the DVDs, so you guys can see that I can pick this up. Little TVs in the back. Other than that, things are pretty normal in the back, and then leg room is identical to any other Grand Cherokee. We have keyless entry in the front, so one touch to lock it. To unlock it, just put your hand on the back of the door handle and it'll unlock. You can see the panel here in the front looks identical to the one in the rear. So again, soft touch up top with the wood trim, silver trim right there, more leather here on the side. You've got the memory seat controls right there, all of your window controls right here. Power folding mirrors, another speaker for the sound system, which is Harman Kardon, really like that sound system. And here's actually the seat for the front, so you guys can kind of get a full view of the seat. You can see that there's the controls on the side of the seat there, so like the lumbar controls, power controls, all of that. Again, it says Summit at the top. Nice perforations, the leather feels really nice. However, I do prefer the signature leather package on the Summit, so that, and then also what it does, the door handles, makes everything look way better. Pedal layout just down below. Parking brake right there. This is for your gas cap. Your light controls as well. And then you guys can see that the steering wheel is going to be automatically adjustable right there. But let's head inside. Start up the Grand Cherokee. All you have to do is put your foot on the brake, push the push start. Gauges will do a sweep. Everything will come to life as well. Here's the steering wheel in the Grand Cherokee Summit. Let's zoom in so we can look at things. Got your cruise control right here, adaptive cruise control just down below. Jeep logo in the center. These are the controls for the center stack. Voice command controls right there. Fully leather wrap steering wheel with the nice wood trim at the top. Really nice touch there. Paddle shifters to shift that 8-speed automatic yourself. Rocker panels, sorry, on the back so you can control the radio stations. And then that over there is your turn signal stock, windshield wiper stock, all that kind of stuff is in that little thing. And right down here you can see it says since 1941. We've got our center gauge cluster, so RPMs on the left side, on the right side. You've got your temperature gauge and fuel gauge, and then you've got this little center stack, which is pretty configurable. You can scroll through a couple different menus on that. You can see all the little things that pop up on it. So pretty configurable, pretty easy to use, and it's just like any other upgraded Grand Cherokee, or really any of the upgraded product from FCA right now. We've got the center display right here, and let's pop it into reverse first and foremost so you guys can see the backup camera with the little trajectory lines right there. Pretty good quality. You can see the navigation, and then as I'm pressing the buttons you can see the response time. And I'm going to turn those off because it's a little bit too warm, but heated and ventilated seats. You can go to the backup camera at any time. You can see over here all of this, and all of it's drag and drop, by the way, with all of the functions on the touchscreen, but you guys can kind of get the gist of it, how easy it is to use and all of that. And then vents on both sides. Analog radio controls right here, analog climate controls just right next to that, and it is a dual zone climate in the Grand Cherokee. Stability control, got your sport mode on, eco mode off, lane departure assistance, which I always turn off, I don't like that function. Parking sensors, that is your parallel and perpendicular parking assistance. And then we can press this open. Got a couple charging stations in here, and it is all lined with felt. Got a cool little setup here in this area. So we've got the cup holders right there. This is the shifter for the 8-speed automatic. You can see that you've got the manual shift mode if you want to shift the gears yourself. So use the paddles if you are going to do that. And then also in this area, you've got little terrain slicks. So you guys can see we've got the different drive modes. So first we'll go with the 4-wheel low. You've got your hill descent control over here, air suspension to raise and lower it. And then you can see you've got your snow mode, your sand mode, auto right over there. You've got your mud and then your rock. And as you shift between these, it'll actually pop up on this little screen showing you which drive mode you're in with the Grand Cherokee. So pretty good setup right there. And then finally, we can come over here to center console. So lined with leather, you got the stitching. Open it up, you can see that's where you can put the DVDs in, a little 12-volt, and then it is lined with felt again in that center console. And bye. Now we've got the wood trim right here in this area, and then you can open up the glove box, again lined with felt, and the glove box, pretty standard setup for a glove box. Nothing too crazy there. You can see the kind of leather trim and the stitching on this. Again, the signature leather package, it looks and feels a whole lot nicer. So if you got the extra $5 grand, I definitely recommend it for the Summit package. So up here we can see we've got all the controls for the full panoramic sunroof. Like I said, does have a suede headliner, so it is a nice feel on it, especially on the little sun visors right there. Tailgate release, and then these are your little light controls up here as well. Other than that, things are pretty simple up top. Now let's finish things up in this Summit by going over pricing. So this particular Summit stickers for just over $66,000 before any type of market adjustment. And like I said, that black roof that it has is a $2,000 option. It's $2,100 to be exact, which I think is a little bit crazy, but that's just me. Anyways, that all being said, let's take this 2020 Summit out to see how it drives. Now before we set off in the Grand Cherokee Summit, let's talk about visibility. So you see visibility over the hood, just like any other Grand Cherokee, it's all the same. Through both the mirrors, it does have blind spot monitoring, which helps out with that. You can see the other mirror. And then you see throughout the rear as well, visibility is really good in general with the Grand Cherokee. Big windows all around, and let's set off. So initially setting off here in the Grand Cherokee Summit, let's talk about road noise and ride quality. So compared to all the other Grand Cherokees, ride quality is pretty much identical. It is smoother than like an SRT or a Trackhawk. It's kind of expected. But yeah, I mean, it has the same smoothness quality as like all the other Grand Cherokees. It's just a nice smooth ride. In terms of road noise, you don't hear a whole lot. You get a little bit from the 5.7 Hemi, which those aren't bad noises, those are good noises. But wheel and tire noise is pretty limited. I mean, 20-inch rims are on the larger side, but they're not bad by any means. And so all I'm really hearing is the Hemi. Now let's talk about steering and handling. So you guys can kind of see the steering is very, very light. And I know this isn't really a real corner, but taking it, you guys can see it handles pretty well. I mean, it just stays relatively flat for an SUV, so it kind of has a little bit of a sporty characteristic. Other than that, the handling on it's really solid. It definitely drives smaller than it actually is. We are going to get an acceleration here with the Grand Cherokee Summit to see how this Hemi performs. Okay, I kind of floored it a little bit too much, but it's quick. And if you're wondering, that's kilometers, that's not miles an hour, I promise. But yeah, I mean, acceleration on this is super, super strong. That 5.7 Hemi is more than enough power. If you're crazy, go for the SRT. But yeah, I mean, it's got more than enough pep, and the Hemi sounds really, really nice, just saying. Now to sum things up on this Summit, just kidding. But yeah, to sum things up, I really like the Summit. I think it's a nice luxury package. I wish that the signature leather package was standard equipment on this, that they would, you know, somehow make it work with the price, because I think that's just what the Summit should be from the factory. Some of the touches like the steering wheel and all that are nicer than a regular Grand Cherokee, but like, I mean, the dash and all that, it's okay, but it's not great. Whereas the signature leather package definitely brings things together. So that's my only complaint on the Summit, is that and then also the price of the black roof. I mean, come on. How much does it really cost to paint a roof black? That's ridiculous. But other than that, it's a really good luxury package for the Grand Cherokee. And I'm excited to see what comes for 2021 when they fully redesign the Grand Cherokee. And there we have it, everyone, the 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee Summit. I really like this vehicle. I think it's a really good setup in general. Like I said, signature leather package I'd go for. Black roof, probably not, because you could just get it wrapped for a lot less money. But anyways, if you are stopping for the first time, please subscribe, comment down below what you think, and then again, a big shout out and thank you to Larry H. Miller, Dodge Ram, Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy, Utah, for providing us with the Grand Cherokee Summit. Check out their inventory in the link below.